Hello and welcome to Studio Classroom Worldwide. I'm Rachel.
Hi friends, my name is Steve and we have another great lesson for you today. We're still talking about germs and our author is warning us about where to find them and how to kill them.
That's right. This is a very useful, I think, and helpful lesson because all of us come into contact with germs every single day. So if we know how to get rid of them, then hopefully we'll be healthier in the process. So, Steve, yesterday we talked about germs in the kitchen sink and in the bathtub. And what was the third one? Do you remember?
I think that was wet laundry. After you wash your clothes, don't let them sit in a wet state for too long because bacteria will grow. Well, friends, let's learn more. Please open your magazines to page 39 for the reading.
Germ alert. You'll find plenty of germs outside your home, too. ATM buttons. Lots of germs live on the buttons of your local ATM. According to www.health.com, Chinese researchers tested 38 ATMs in downtown Taipei. They found that each button hosted an average of 1,200 germs. Use a hand sanitizer after using the ATM and after handling paper money, too. Women's purses. The bottoms of women's purses house tens of thousands, if not millions, of bacteria. University of Arizona researchers discovered all kinds of different bacteria on purse bottoms. These included E. coli, as well as bacteria that cause eye and skin infections. Women should wipe their purses every few days with a mild soap solution. Shopping cart handles. All kinds of germs live on shopping cart handles. Lots of people touch the handles each day, and who knows where their hands have been. Carry disinfectant wipes and use them on the handles. That will kill nearly all the germs.
Welcome back, friends. Now, the purpose of this lesson is not to scare you or to make you very afraid of germs, but to help you realize that there are things you can do to get rid of the germs, or as many as you possibly can, by just taking a few simple steps.
Right. We want you to be aware of the germs around your home. As yesterday we talked about germs in your kitchen, in your laundry, and in your bathroom. Well, today we're going to go outside of the home. And of course, when we think of public places, we think of germs. As I said yesterday, when we come back from a public place, we often wash our hands. That's the first thing we do to get rid of those germs.
That's right. And washing your hands is a very important thing to do, especially if you can use soap and hot water. But there are other things you can do as well. Now, we're going to talk right now about going to the ATM. And we've seen this phrase ATM before, automated teller machine, and probably most, or if not all of us, have used ATMs before.
Okay, when do you go to an ATM? That's right, when you need money. And so people go to the ATM, well, quite often. I bet they're a busy place, and a lot of people are touching those buttons, and the money's being exchanged there. And when you touch those buttons, be careful, because there are a lot of germs on those buttons.
That's right. I mean, I always suspected that there were a lot of germs, but actually seeing this in print and seeing how it's a very germy place, it makes me a little more cautious when I go to an ATM, because lots of germs live on those buttons, and you have to press the buttons in order to get the money out. So what do you do?
That's a good point. Remember, we can't see the germs. They're very, very small living organisms, but we just know they're there. In fact, someone had researched this. We find out that according to www.health.com, Chinese researchers tested 38 ATMs in downtown Taipei. So they knew the germs were there too. They couldn't see them, but they tested them, and they found out some interesting things.
They sure did. Now, I can't imagine wanting to be a germ researcher, but I'm sure somebody really enjoys doing this. And let's quickly stop on that word researcher for a minute. You probably know what research is, and it's data or information that a person collects. So we can call the person who collects that information a researcher. And often these people study the materials and they try to find facts and reach conclusions, and they spend quite a bit of time looking at the data.
Right. They want to study something in detail, hopefully to learn some new information or discover some new facts. And these researchers in downtown Taipei, which is a very, very busy part of the city, they found that each button hosted an average of 1,200 germs. So every time you touch an ATM button, you are touching at least 1,200 different germs.
Oh, that's actually quite disgusting, Steve. It makes me not want to use an ATM at all. But obviously, there are going to be times when we need to use an ATM or we need to touch money. So we don't have to worry or panic. We just need to have some simple things with us, like hand sanitizer.
Oh, I was going to say gloves. I'll put on my gloves and then use the ATM.
That's a good idea, too.
Or maybe use a pencil and touch the buttons, too. Well, you don't have to do those things. As Rachel said, you can use hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer comes in handy. Very good. Comes in handy if you need to touch a lot of dirty things or you're out and about and you don't have a sink to wash your hands in. And hand sanitizer is just, usually it's a liquid in a smaller bottle, and you just rub it on your hands, and it's supposed to get rid of the germs right away. However, this is not an excuse not to wash your hands later. I think people make that mistake, but they need to realize it's just a quick solution, but you need to really wash your hands at a later time.
Okay, so it's not as powerful as another kind of disinfectant that you might use in your kitchen or in your bathroom, but it is better than nothing. Okay, so hand sanitizer is pretty good. I think it contains alcohol, which is something that will kill bacteria. And so using hand sanitizer after using the ATM and after handling paper money as well is a good idea.
Yes, that is a good idea. So all of us have to handle paper money at some point, and we often use the verb handle when we are touching and exchanging and getting money out of our pockets or wherever we might store it. And so after we use the money or touch it, we should try to somehow clean our hands.
Because that money is dirty. Just imagine all of the people who had touched that money and maybe where the money was in somebody's pocket, or maybe it landed on the ground for a few minutes. You just don't know. So make sure that you clean your hands after you go to the ATM and after you handle money.
And this is very good advice. Well, after the break, we're going to talk about 2 more places where you can find a lot of germs, including women's purses. So I hope you stick with us as we continue talking about that. And right now, let's visit the chat room.